Hey guys, and hello, warm welcome to my STs and everybody else watching. So I'm continuing my series where I went over the 4 temperaments and I'm highlighting each one, and I've already done NF and NT and talked about how amazing they are in their own right. And today I am especially highlighting the ST. Now, I don't think I have a ton of ST viewers, at least that I'm aware of. I have a few ESTPs, I know that, and some ISTPs, but I don't know if I have any ISTJs or ESTJs, at least that I'm aware of, or maybe they're not aware of their type, or they've never expressed to me their type. But I do know them in real life, and so I can speak on that. And so this is for you guys. This is your love letter to let you know how amazing you are. So just to begin, STS, and this is Myers-Briggs psychology personality typology. For those of you who are unfamiliar, you can look up Myers-Briggs or MBTI, especially the cognitive functions, to do a deeper dive. But essentially the S is sensor, so someone that's very involved in the here and now as far as being grounded in the 5 senses and what's happening. They're really usually detail oriented, not necessarily, but whereas intuitives are more big picture, creatives, these are people who are more rational, which by the way, the STs are known as the rationalists. And the T is for thinking, which means logic, making decisions based on logic over feelings. So you put that together and you do get the rationals, or who are usually our firefighters, our policemen, military, a lot of those more practical, grounded. I know I say that word a lot, but it's just, as an intuitive, that's the best way I can express it, because I usually don't feel very grounded myself. I feel like my head's in the clouds half the time, or in outer space. Whereas I see sensors, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are actually on Earth. How are you doing this? How are you not just like a million miles away right now daydreaming about something and creating something in your head? But that's just not how they're wired, and that's what makes them beautiful. So STs, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your hard work. I feel like you guys get stuff done. Really, without you guys, those intuitive ideas that we all have, I feel like they would just be ideas for the most part. I noticed that it takes the sensors to help us really get it going, get projects moving forward, to make the steps to make it happen. And of course, these are stereotypes, and sometimes it's the opposite, and different types do different things, depending. Of course, it's all circumstantial, but overall, you guys get stuff done. You are protecting our society in different ways, which is a beautiful thing, and it's just very practical. My dad, I believe, is an ESTP. I love him to death. We weren't close for the longest time, like growing up, but lately, after my mom passed, we got closer, and he's a cool guy. I mean, he can be something else. He's a handful in his own like funny way, but we love each other and we get along. And I really noticed that with ESTPs, that because I'm an ENFJ, and so we're in the beta quadrant, which means we share the same functions, FE, SE, NI, and TI, but just in different order, which is so fascinating. It's because I see my dad and I'm like, I'm so different. How am I your child? Because I'm very much aware of like social decorum, and he's so not. He'll just say something. I'm like, oh, Dad. Oh, and I'm so embarrassed for both of us. But he doesn't care, because his FE is further down the stack, whereas mine is right up top. So I care how I'm being perceived. But the funny thing is, even though we're so different, and sometimes I'm like, how am I your daughter? This, because he's like a mechanic, and I'm so creative. It's so interesting. But anyway, but I also noticed that we're very similar in a lot of ways. And so lately I've been telling him, I'm like, yep, I'm my father's daughter, because of the way I think about things. Like, I don't want to work for someone else, and I want to be independent. And he's an entrepreneur himself. And, which a lot of ESTPs are. I noticed that. It's so interesting. And I blame it on the beta quadrant, which is also the ISTP. You are also in the beta quadrant with us. So it's, I want to say ISTPs, ESTPs, INFJs, and ENFJs. I think that's it. Sharing the same functions, all just mixed up in different orders. So it's so interesting how you can have the same functions, but totally different vibe. So ISTPs, there's some kind of magnetism I feel with you guys, and maybe because you're typically more closed off, so you just seem cooler, and I'm just so in awe of that because I'm just someone that wears my heart on my sleeve. And so I feel like there's another interesting like connection there where you guys, we just get each other, and I admire that you are great usually with like handyman, like with your hands and stuff. That stuff that boggles my mind. You're good with that, and we just really get along usually very smoothly. It's really interesting from what I've experienced. It's a really cool combo. So thank you ISTPs for being really cool. And of course the ISTJ, I think it's amazing to me. You guys are so smart and practical, and yet you can be funny and just, I think that's like your shadow, is it like an ESFP, ESTP? So it's kind of silly. And so I appreciate that about you. And ESTJs, of course, like running the world and doing their thing and making stuff happen. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do. If you don't get kudos, which you might not, because you probably just do stuff, don't even announce it and stuff. You're just like, this needs to be done, and who's better than me to get it done? And you get it done. So I appreciate that practicality as somebody that, again, is just a dreamer. It's so interesting to me. I'm like, man, if I was an ST, I feel like I could rule the world, because then I could actually do things instead of think about them, and just be creative with the thoughts in my head and the visions that I have. So yes, STs, I'm sorry this is kind of short, but I'm trying to keep these very general, because and also it's hard because everyone's different, right? So I'm just trying to figure out like the main meat of what makes you guys really who you are, your essence, and highlight that and show a lot of gratitude for that. So, all right, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll do SFs next, so look out for that. Woo! They're so fun. And I don't know if I'll make a video before Christmas, so I want to go ahead and say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to those of you that celebrate. I hope you have a Happy New Year. If I do make another video after this, maybe I'll say it again, but I want to make sure I say it because I appreciate you guys, and I hope everyone's staying safe. I know in America there is a big winter storm coming through today, so please everyone be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'm praying for everybody to be well and to be safe during this time. So, all right, I send everybody so much love. And again, STs, you are awesome. Go out there and rock it. All right, love you guys. Bye.